Hey guys, welcome back to Declare Independence. I know it has been quite some time, and I'm really sorry about that. A lot of things have changed in our lives. A lot of things have happened. We have moved to the Midwest from Southern California, and that's come with its whole range of challenges and getting used to living in a new place. That being said, I think since the last video I posted, a lot has changed in the world. A lot of things that I talked about weren't necessarily as accurate as I thought they were, which is why this is not a news channel. This is just me sharing my opinions on what we see in the news and from other sources. So today I want to talk about Biden's food shortages and the bird flu and things that are going on. Now, the U.S. government has been quick to pivot and blame inflation and food shortages and things that are going on right now that were stimulated by things that happened a year ago on Russia. And that's fine. It really doesn't matter who the White House blames for the things that are happening right now. Nonetheless, back when campaign promises were made in 2019, there was a promise that there was plenty of food in America and there wouldn't be any problems regardless. The thing about this is true. I grew up in Northern California, all up the Central Valley. It's nothing but food. That's California gross produce for the entire United States. There are very few products that we actually import or that we need to import into the United States. Avocados are one. I know asparagus, some other things that are kind of staples in the produce section at your grocery store. But for the most part, the United States does produce a vast majority of its food and exports a lot, which is why the news is really kind of confusing, to be honest. Now, I didn't know that Ukraine and Russia produce and export nearly half of the world's wheat. That was a revelation to me that I didn't know. Now, if you didn't know, Russia is the largest country by a mile. The second largest country is not even half the size of Russia. Okay, so Canada is not even half the size of Russia. And so, of course, they've got more land to grow more stuff. Totally understand, but I didn't know how much food they provided the world. But what's going on in the country right now is this H5N1 bird flu that has killed nearly 13 million chickens so far just on the East Coast. It hasn't reached the West Coast yet. It will, meaning that a similar thing is going to happen throughout the entire country where, wild birds, their droppings get into farmed food supplies and cause chickens all over the country to die of this flu. It's very contagious, very lethal. What does that mean? Why are we talking about this right now? Well, if you don't have chicken in your fridge, it's important if you want some in the next few months, maybe get some extra chicken and put it in your freezer. And if you're thinking to yourself, I don't even eat chicken, I don't like chicken. Well, guess what? The cost of beef and pork and other meat substitutes, because if there's no chicken or the price rises dramatically, people are going to buy the meat that you like as well. That's just how it works. So, you don't have to go crazy, but it would be nice if you'd like to have meat on your plate sometime in the next few months and not paying an arm and a leg for it, to go get some now and put it in your freezer. When it comes to food, the same thing applies. So if there's a shortage on wheat, and my wife and I were at our local Kroger maybe a week and a half ago trying to get pasta, there was virtually no wheat pasta in the entire store. Now, I hadn't really put two and two together. We really didn't care whether it was wheat. We ended up getting egg noodles, I think, and that's fine. You can get rice pasta, and there are other substitutes besides just wheat pasta. But if all the wheat pasta is gone, people are going to be buying the kind of pasta that you like as well. So either the price of pasta is going to rise dramatically, or it's going to be scarce, or both. And so common substitutes like rice, like breads, things that people would complement their, a starch that they'd use in their meal to complement their meal, those are all going to rise in price. So it's important that you do a little bit to stock up now so that you don't pay inflationary prices for the same thing several months from now. So as you might have heard me mention in a previous video, I'm a Latter-day Saint. There's a famous quote from Brigham Young, and I hope it's more conjecture than actual prophecy, but he says, in the last days, if you had to choose between a box of gold or a cat, you would choose the cat because you could eat the cat. Now, I really hope that's just conjecture. I don't think it's really been dissected too much. It's just kind of a thing that, growing up in the church, you just hear that phrase, and there's a constant beat of the drum to make sure that you're storing up food, that you have a 6 month to year supply of food in the case of financial hardship in your family, or just a hurricane or power outages. And so it's always nice to have food saved up, and we do. Some of the things that we have for long-term storage are things like cans of corned beef, some stuff that lasts like 7 to 10 years in a can, and actually is kind of tasty. So if you 5-6 years from now, we can still eat the same product, even if there's nothing going on in the country and the prices haven't risen dramatically. We can just eat it and then replace that. 50-pound bags of rice and wheat and oats. These things are not expensive. Beans, lentils. These things are easy to come by. Right now, they're easy to come by, not expensive for how much food you get. And, in the near future, that may not be the case. So these are just simple things that we have. No, it's not probably the most enjoyable diet, but those are really easy staples that you can find that will hit most of the nutrients you need. Other stuff we have a bulk of supplements, vitamin supplements, as well as whey protein, stuff that's really quick and easy that covers most of your protein needs as well as most of your nutritional needs. I'm sure there are some gaps that we're not seeing, and I'd love to hear from you guys some of the things you're doing. But these are easy things that you can do now that you don't have to be wealthy to do. I'm going to link a video in the description from a guy that I don't know personally that shares on how for less than $100 you can get enough food for a month for 2 people. And actually, I watched the video. It's fairly extensive what you can get. Stuff that comes from Walmart.com, I believe. So I encourage you to watch that video. If there are things that you're doing in your own life, please share and let us know what you think are some good ideas to help people prepare for the inevitable. These are not, when the White House tells you there's going to be a food shortage, they're not doing it to, some angle to build their brand for the 2024 election. It is happening. It is going to happen. So we need to do everything in our power to prepare ourselves for the inevitable. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching. Sorry it's been a little over a year, probably a year and a half since I posted. I really hope to hear from you and to be able to grow this channel and to build exposure, and we can have a nice community here. So thank you guys so much for watching. God bless. Have a great day.